Alright guys, so it looks like this time around with the penny line, Nike may have finally gotten their act together. Not a bunch of just randomness everywhere. They finally started putting out sneakers that people actually might want to wear. And one of those is actually going to be one of the GRs, and it's going to be the Penny 1 in the Photon Dust color. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Mike from sneakerhistory.com and we are back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you hadn't done so already, hit the subscribe button down below. I told you. Alright guys, so I'm actually editing that video you're watching right now, and I shot these out of order. So when this video came out, I actually already hit the 2,000 subscribers. So if you're seeing this right now, go ahead, go to the Instagram post I was telling you guys about in the last video. I'll put a picture of it right there for you. So that way you go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow my follow my Instagram, follow Sneaker History's Instagram. Make sure you nominate the person in either the comments or the DMs for this sneaker giveaway. We want to give it to somebody who really needs them. You know, the holidays are coming up. We want to make sure everyone gets to celebrate. And so go ahead and follow those rules. And on December 20th, I'll be picking 4 individuals to get those shoes out to. So go ahead, let's make it happen and enjoy the video. See ya. Now, just like you saw from the intro, we are looking at a Penny 1, and this one's going to be in the Photon Dust colorway. And guys, just a little secret between you and I hope you guys don't take my sneakerhead card away, but this is actually my first ever penny sneaker. Well, actually, I take that back. I had that, was it the Zoom Rookie, that was like the, what, foam posit kind of amalgam they put together, but this is my first true penny sneaker from his original line. And I have to say, guys, I'm actually pretty impressed and pretty glad I grabbed them. Now, going back to years past, like I mentioned in the intro, Nike have been pretty loose and reckless with the penny line whenever they bring it back for retros, and it was either just, you know, just oversaturated with tons of them everywhere, bad colorways, or, you know, maybe the materials weren't great. There just wasn't a lot of good things to say about the penny retros, even though it was a great line of sneakers, except for the penny 2. You know, I know a lot of my sneakerhead friends out there think the penny 2 is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think that shoe's terrible, but that's not here or there because we're looking at the penny 1. Now, this time around in 2022, Nike has seemed to be more thoughtful behind their penny releases. And although this one is just a GR, some people would like to say just a GR, but it is a very put together, thoughtful colorway. It's not something they were slapping together like they were back in, what was that, 2016, 2015, they were just slapping any color they get their hands on a penny and calling it a day. And you walk into any kind of, you know, shoe store, you name it, they were on clearance or they were just sitting because they just didn't look good. It wasn't that it was a bad shoe, because the penny 1 I think is one of the best retro basketball shoes out there, but they just didn't look good. There's certain things just didn't need to happen. Like there was one, I think it was like blue with like pinstripes and one, it was atrocious. But get into this one, they've really gotten their act together, and I was able to pick this one up for a discount thanks to a good buddy of mine. And this was one of those things that was like, you know what? This is my time to try it. God, what's the retail on these? I don't think they put suggested retail anymore. I think it's like 150, 140. I can't remember. Sorry, guys, but I got them for about $100. So that was kind of my reason to get them, because, like, you know, I don't want to spend the 150, 160, however much they cost. And I was like, well, let me try it out for the discounted price. This is, I think, one of the best colorways that was available. And I was pleasantly surprised. Again, I had never owned the penny 1. I've always liked it and appreciated it from afar. But this time I actually got it in hand. I have to say, I'm glad I finally got one. I don't know how many I would actually go out and buy. I think the only colorway that I still want would either be the All-Star, the all black and navy color, or the home colorway, which came out a while back, which I think they sold out pretty much everywhere, but the resale market kind of dipped on them once they got out into the wild, basically. But getting into the penny 1, which of course, you know, giving you a quick, very brief history lesson, because I know I'm not the first one to review a penny. Back in 1995, this was the first penny to release. This one really, I think, with penny style of play, how good that people projected him to be, I feel like people may have thought that this was going to be the successor to the Jordan line. But unfortunately, due to Penny's, you know, injuries, it just didn't happen that way. But this shoe still does hold seems like a very dear place in a lot of sneakerhead and basketball aficionados' hearts. So really nice to see it again back in a nice form. Now with this particular color, the Photon Dust, it has gotten a lot of comparison to the, I guess, Social Status pair they did. I can't remember, it was like the Play Shoes or a Recess pair. I can't remember the name of it. I throw a picture up here, whatever side is bigger for you guys to see. But it has some similarities, but it's not quite that same shoe. And I really do, although I may not be the biggest social status fan. I really do like the shoe, so I give them that. But I like this one a little better because I like how they stay true to the swoosh. That's the big thing for me. I love the jewel swoosh, kind of like that. I don't know if you want to call it marble, like cracking effect they have inside, which of course we're going to get closer shots for you. That is my favorite part, along with the foam wing you get on the sneaker. So with them keeping that true and not the interchangeable swooshes, I think this one actually has a leg up on a particular collaboration, although it doesn't have that extra name attached. Now with the Photon Dust color, we're going to get a nice, it is a hairy suede. It's not a thick cut, but it is a nicer material that, you really don't see that much on a lot of Nike products. So for this shoe being a general release, I'm pretty excited to say that, hey, this is a pretty nice, hairy, nappy suede they put on here, and it's gonna really cover up a vast majority of the shoe, really. So it's gonna go around the toe box here, go around the medial side, and even find its way behind that foam wing on the lateral side. And it's that photon color, that bone color, which again is very popular the last few years, that kind of off-white cream. I think that, not necessarily because of the color itself, but I think it's just easy to wear. It goes with a lot of different things. You can mix and match a lot of different outfits with this particular color. It's a good base, so that way you're not, overpowering your fits with, oh, it's this really loud shoe and really loud outfit. This is a good shoe, just kind of that color just goes with everything. So I can see why people do like it. Now back to the toe box, you're gonna have your jewel Nike logo done up in a off-white with a orange Nike swoosh right there, dead center. And going up to the laces, you're gonna have that quick lace setup that we saw in things like the Jordan 10, the Jordan 11. Setup here is gonna be on a, guys, I don't know if it's real leather. I can't tell, I don't have any material breakdown. I'm gonna assume it is a real leather, even though it's a very thin cut, just because when I go in, if you can see, again, I'm getting better closer shots for you. When you push into it, it does have some give like an actual leather. So you guys let me know down below if you know for sure if it's real or synthetic, but I am getting an inkling that it is actually a real leather, and that's gonna be done up in that kind of bone color as well. Now, the laces are gonna be that same color, really very, very uniform throughout the shoe. You're gonna have the rope laces done up in that same kind of grayish bone color that sit on top of a tongue that is really weird. It's almost like a, what was that, the terry cloth, or it's not suede. It almost has like a terry cloth or felt filling on it that is gonna be really, thin but soft. So you guys can see that, and if I undo the laces, you can actually see there is a Nike logo done up on the tongue tag, it's done in a vertical fashion. That's gonna be embroidered in black with kind of this, almost like a metallic bone embroidered around it with, of course, that nappy suede that we saw on the toe box and the lateral medial sides of the sneaker right there. With our tongue tag. Easy to pull, easy to put on. Now the inside's gonna be done in that same color. Sock line is gonna be mesh. We're gonna have our normal Nike Air logo on the insole, so nothing special there. But as we get to the back of the shoe, first things first, we're gonna almost have this kind of inner booty construction, but it's only built into the heel. So you guys, if you can see that, there's just kind of extra setup that is a mixture of glued and stitched in, I'm guessing to provide a little bit, of course, more comfort while you're on the court. Now, we'll talk about the fit and feel later, but I just kind of give you a precursor. I don't think I would hoop in this shoe unless maybe I changed out the insole, because I feel this might be a bit dated cushion-wise to be an actual hoop shoe. Now, we get to the back, we're going to have our, I don't know what you want to call this, just say a cloth pull tab on the back done up in that grayish bone color with a black stripe going through. We're gonna have that iconic 1 cent logo embroidered in black, with gonna be sitting on top of that nappy suede that we saw on the front and sides of the sneaker. As we get down to the midsole, it's gonna be done up again in that kind of bone colorway that is gonna have an air bubble that is gonna be almost yellowed out, which is kind of cool because it almost gives it like an older look. So I really do like the fact that they put that yellow color, just makes that pop a little bit more while staying true to the muted colors they put on the sneaker. So really cool there. Now, of course, again, we're gonna have the, I don't want to say the namesake, because the namesake would be the penny logo, but one of the most defining factors of the penny one is gonna be that wing that's gonna be made of foam right here. So we talked about it in the beginning, but I'll give you a closer look now. It's gonna have that, gonna be done up in a more of a kind of a pure white color to give it a bit of a pop outside of the bone color we see on the Photon Dust color we see in the sneaker. That is going to be done in this foam to provide, I guess, a little bit of stability, a little bit of just extra look to give us kind of his identity. But I thought this was actually going to be a hard piece when I picked up the sneaker, because again, I never actually owned it, I never actually tried it on. But when I picked it up, it is a very soft foam. I don't know what kind of foam it actually is, but it is a foam, very soft. You see I am kind of squeezing it around here. Very easy to maneuver. So it's not as hard. So I thought it might end up being uncomfortable, but it's something you don't even notice actually when you put the shoe on. And again, we talked about the jewel swoosh that we discussed in the beginning. That's gonna be a black swoosh when it has like that white cracking effect inside, which again, one of the pieces I really liked about the sneaker. Now, as we get down to the medial side of the shoe, that wing, that same foam is gonna make its presence here, again, providing some more stability on the medial side. Not as high as we saw on the lateral side, but it still provides some lockdown and some support with that foam that is gonna be raised a bit higher than, of course, the actual midsole would be. Get into the outsole of the sneakers, one of my favorite parts of the shoe, because it's gonna have this wavy traction pattern that is gonna be broken up into this really cream color, and you're gonna have your that grayish bone color in the heel. But the huge Nike swoosh going across in a very contrasting black is super cool to me. I really like that. And you're gonna have that exposed air right here, so you can really see that whole air unit done up in this cream color with that black cracking. But if you look through the window, you have Nike Air in orange, which is gonna really, again, be the same as that orange Nike swoosh we saw here on the toe box. So really cool shoe. I actually really do like it. I'm not sure how many wears I'll get out of it because it is still a big 90s basketball shoe, but it is cool. Not the most comfortable shoe in the world, I'll tell you that much. Very flat in my opinion. I don't know if there's any encapsulated air in the forefoot, but I know it does have that, that heel air unit. Not that it's uncomfortable by any means, but it's not something to the comfort standards I'm used to now to walk around for long periods of time. I'm definitely gonna wear these, but I wouldn't say I'm gonna walk around, amusement park with these. I'm not spending, 8-hour day on my feet in these. Super cool shoe, super glad to have in the collection, but it's not something I'm wearing for comfort reasons. I just like to throw on my retro basketballs every so often, so it's nice to have a pair in the collection, of course. But if you're picking up this shoe, I would say wide footers, although this is not very intrusive and not very hard, those wings and those foam panels, because it is gonna be still a form of containment. I would go up a half a size if I'm a wide footer. Normal footers, slim footers, go true to size. It's pretty snug, and not in a bad way. It hugs your foot. Of course, it's meant for basketball, so it's meant to lock you down. But wide footers, go up that half a size just to ensure you're not getting that, that extra squeeze that you probably don't want in a casual shoe. So definitely check it out. Again, I don't know if I would actually hoop in these. Maybe if I changed the insole out and gave it a go, possibly. But what they give us now, just really thin insole that's glued down super hard, so I'm not gonna pull it out. I would probably stick with being casual unless you want to change it to performance insoles. But other than that, guys, I'm actually a really big fan of this. I'm glad I have a Penny One in the collection now. I can have my sneakerhead card back. I'll take that from you guys. But it's one that I don't know how many I'm gonna buy, like I mentioned before. But if there's an interesting color out there, I definitely will give it a go. But nice to have. I'm excited about it. What are you guys' thoughts on Penny One? I know with the beginning of the year, it was a lot of excitement, a lot of build up when people were knowing that they were gonna bring the OGs back. They're bringing out thoughtful collaborations, thoughtful inline products. So super excited to see what they're doing here, bringing some justice back to that line. So do you guys like this Photon Dust colorway? Do you have a pair? Do you not like it? You want to stick to the OGs or stick to just purely collaborations? Let me know down below in the comments. I really love hearing from you guys. And again, we're only 2 away or 3 away from that 2,000 mark, which is all thanks to you guys for all your support. So until next time, guys, see ya.